This film is brought to you by New York Life and its 9,500 agents and representatives who offer you quality financial products and services to help you get the most out of life.
When you're getting ready to be introduced and you can hear the fans yelling, and you're right at the dugout getting ready to come out and you hear them when it's filled up. Now, that's what playing football is all about. That's when the Fulton County fans are the best. That's what we need behind us this year to get us going again.
It really gets you pumped up. It gets that adrenaline worked up and gets you on a high that before you say, hey, all you want is just one good play and you can turn this stadium into total chaos. That's what you want to do.
Falcon fever. In 1987, its symptoms will be excitement, unpredictability, and fun.
Let's see if they try to get some pressure on Roby. They're going to play it safe, but he dropped the football, and Brett Clark's going to bring him down at the 15. Here's a lateral as Roby got it to Jensen. Jensen now trying to load up and throw. Flags are down. Wide open over here on the near side. Miami's got a receiver at midfield. To the 45, 40. Inside the 30, he might go all the way. And now loose football again. What a crazy play. It's loose in the end zone, and the Falcons are on top of it. I've never seen anything like this.
The '86 Falcons were improved in many areas, but they still fell short in others. Since then, however, several positive steps have been taken to lessen the sting of last season's disappointments. There are reasons to believe that Atlanta will improve upon their 7-8-1 season under the guidance of new head coach Marion Campbell. As defensive coordinator last season, the Swamp Fox redesigned and revived the Falcon defense and helped Atlanta to their best record since 1982. The Falcons possess a solid nucleus of talent, and with Marion Campbell in charge, Falcon fever is spreading throughout the South. One of the NFL's biggest stories in 1986 was the improvement of the Falcon defense under the direction of Marion Campbell.
He's the type of coach that can come in at the halftime and really give you a lip beating and make you play a little bit better. He knows when to say things, when to not say things. I just have a lot of respect for the man and the way he turned our defense around last year.
Campbell brought his entire defensive staff from Philadelphia, and using 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers most of the time, Atlanta climbed from 28th to 7th in yards allowed and cut points scored against them in half. The born-again Falcon defense hustled and hit anything that moved. They were hard to fool and even harder to score against, traits that have always been associated with Coach Campbell's defensive system.
Well, what Marion Campbell brought was an established defensive system. He's been running this system, I think, 10 to 12 years, and he knows exactly how it should be played. And it was just a matter of getting our defensive personnel that were here and plugging them into the right spots.
Left cornerback Bobby Butler, number 23, was the only starter who remained in his original position. Campbell took defensive end Rick Bryan, number 77, and moved him from the left side to the right, where he led the team in sacks. Brian continued to be a force against the run, even though he played much of the season with a cracked bone in his right leg. While Brian moved to right end, number 74, Mike Pitts, who was another former first-round pick, and Mike Gann, number 76, shared the left side. Together, they combined for 11 sacks. Campbell remodeled the linebacking as well, taking John Rady, number 59, and moving him from the outside to inside linebacker. He also moved Buddy Curry, number 50, back inside, and the 7-year veteran responded by leading the Falcons in tackles, something he's done every year since coming to Atlanta in 1980.
I consider myself a ball player. I mean, a lot of guys are bigger than I am. Most guys are bigger than I am and stronger and faster. But, you know, when it comes down to it, you got to beat the man in front of you, and then you got to make the tackle. And that's what I excel in. Game day on Sunday, I excel in making the tackle, making the play.
Curry brought down 154 ball carriers, and the return to his most natural position helped Atlanta's defense in a lot of ways. Of all the position changes that Marion Campbell made, no player had to make more of an adjustment than Scott Case, number 25. An All-American safety at Oklahoma and a nickelback for most of his first 2 seasons in Atlanta, Case was switched to the corner, where he produced one of the best seasons of any cornerback in 1986. As a pass defender, this former second-round draft pick always rose to meet the challenge, batting away 41 passes while intercepting 4 more. Case's aggressive temperament was perfectly suited for the corner, and it earned him a reputation as one of the NFL's surest touchdown-saving tacklers. Case and the rest who were put in different positions were a key part of the Swamp Fox's master plan.
It's just a philosophy that I have about the defense, that different positions require different attributes, and there's a tremendous amount of changes made. And scheme's totally different.
While many players changed positions, others like Joel Williams, number 54, and Reggie Wilkes, number 51, changed teams. Both of these outside linebackers had played for Marion in Philadelphia, and in Atlanta, both were welcome additions.
To get Joel and Reggie, number 1, fine football players, excellent football players that know my scheme.
They played key roles in helping me and with the young people that we had, new defense. You know, I can't count the value of that. It was so immensely important to us, and very fortunate for that to happen.
Atlanta was also fortunate to acquire Brett Clark, number 28, a hard-hitting safety who came to Atlanta on a trade with the Raiders. A punishing tackler, Clark also led the Falcons in interceptions with 5. By acquiring new talent and changing many positions, Campbell completely remodeled the '85 Falcon defense to fit his own dependable system. And one of the most important moves involved the drafting of All-American nose guard Tony Casillas.
Tony came in and first-round draft choice. All eyes were on Tony, and he got better and better and better as he went along. He was a starter. He performed well for us, and I think at the end of the season was really playing dominant football at that spot, and that's a big key to our defense.
Number 75 finished by recording 71 of his 111 tackles over the last half of the season, and he emerged as a force in a defense that did a lot more breaking than it did bending.
Young still on his feet to the 5. He's going to score. And the football comes loose, and now who's on top of it? Wait a minute. Mike Pitts recovers in the end zone.
we can give up a couple yards here and there, but we don't want to let them in the end zone. And if we can make them work it all the way down the field, running the ball, passing the ball short, we're going to get the ball back before they get in the end zone.
Against Dan Marino and the high-powered Miami Dolphins, the Falcon defense came up with 4 interceptions that turned the game into a 20-14 Atlanta victory. The Falcon defense turned what was once a weakness into a team strength, and punter Rick Donnelly, number 3, helped out by pinning opponents deep in their own territory. Donnelly's 43.9-yard average and hustling hitters like Joe Costello, David Crudiff, Brett Clark, Aaron Brown, and others helped dig a hole that the Falcon defense could bury an opponent in. Atlanta took the ball away 36 times, leaped from last to 7th in yards allowed, and last to 6th in points allowed. Improvements that surprised some, but not the man who called the shots.
That did not surprise me. A lot of people said, hey, that was a big surprise to come from last, and I mean a terrible last spot, if you can phrase it that way, to all the way to 6th. But I saw the input, and so they rewarded themselves. They had a player's year.
Ortego in motion toward the football. Tom Zach drops back at his own goal line. Here comes some Falcon pressure. He got the pass away. It's intercepted. Joel Williams. Touchdown, Atlanta.
In 1987, this defense should get even better. A prospect that has Falcon fever sweeping the South.
Oh, listen to this place.
For 18 of their 21 years, the Falcons were led out of their offensive huddle by center Jeff Van Note, number 57. But in 1986, this monument to determination retired. After nearly 2 decades of consistently tough and gritty play, on December 14th, Jeff Van Note was ushered into retirement with a show of affection that was fitting for a man who for so many seasons had meant so much to the team and the town. While the Falcons said goodbye to one hero in 1986, they eagerly welcomed back another. After 2 years of grueling rehabilitation on his injured knee, William Andrews returned to give Atlanta punishing proof that it's not the size of the challenge, but rather the size of the heart that is making the challenge. Used primarily as a blocker, Andrews spent 1986 constructing a courageous comeback and proved that some still play for the love of the game. Atlanta fans can look forward to the continuation of this inspirational comeback and to further exploits of younger heroes like Bill Fralick, number 79, who in only 2 NFL seasons has become one of the NFL's most dominating offensive linemen.
Footballs intimidate the other guy that you're playing against, you know. Let's face it, you're out there to force your will on the other person. If you can make him do what you want him to do without him wanting to do it, you know, it's kind of exciting. That's a part of football that I take pride in, you know, being able to make the other guy do what I want him to.
Fralick, number 79, was a consensus All-Pro in 1986. Fralick, along with Brett Miller, Mike Ken, John Scully, Wayne Radloff, Jamie Dukes, and tight ends Arthur Cox and Ken Wisenhunt, provide the Falcons with a powerful front line that can hurt an opponent in many different ways. Together, they have earned a reputation as one of the NFL's most punishing offensive lines. Against the Rams last season, they literally dominated one of the NFL's toughest defenses against the run. During a 26-14 Falcon victory, Gerald Riggs ran for 141 tough yards, and the offensive line helped the Falcons control the ball for over 34 minutes. Atlanta finished 3rd in the NFL in rushing, thanks to their physical offensive line and their equally powerful runner, Gerald Riggs, number 42. Over the last 3 seasons, only Eric Dickerson and Walter Payton have rushed for more yards than Gerald Riggs, who just might be the NFL's premier power running back.
Big, tough football player. Gerald, when he gets hot, gets that ball running and we get into sync with our run game, he's shown, that he's been unstoppable. Very valuable football player to us. I'd like to see us get a big lead at times, and just give that ball to him play after play after play. And that's when he likes it. He gets better and better and better as he goes.
This hard-nosed, uncompromising style earned Riggs a berth in the Pro Bowl and 6th place in the NFL in rushing. In 1987, Atlanta's rugged running attack will provide Atlanta's new assistant head coach Jim Hannafin and offensive coordinator Rod Dahauer with a proven dimension, while they work to improve the Falcons' passing attack. At quarterback in 1987, David Archer, number 16, will return after a season that was filled with both promise and frustration. A separated shoulder knocked Archer out of the 1986 season, but not before he showed signs of becoming a first-rate NFL quarterback.
Archer rolling to his left. He's in trouble. Archer scrambling to his right. David on the run. Lobs. It is a touchdown.
When Atlanta lost Archer, Turk Schonert, number 14, stepped in and showed he too had a knack for finding the end zone. Both quarterbacks discovered a diamond in the rough in rookie wide receiver Floyd Dixon, number 86, who finished 2nd on the Falcons in receiving. Dixon's breakaway speed and sure hands will be a welcome sight in 1987. So will the return of Billy Johnson, number 81. White Shoes played just enough last season to realize how valuable this tiny third-down receiver can be. He is also the NFL's all-time leading punt returner. And with some good health in 1987, Billy Johnson will continue to add to his already staggering totals. If Johnson's comeback is anything like the one that Charlie Brown put together in 1986, Falcon fans are in for a treat. Brown, number 89, put 2 injury-plagued seasons behind him and returned to the form that once made him one of the NFL's most feared deep receivers. Brown led the Falcons with 63 receptions for over 900 yards and gave them a long-distance threat they haven't had in years. Atlanta's goal in 1987 will be to develop a passing attack that will complement their mighty running game. Whether it's running the ball or putting it in the air, consistency, week in and week out, is the key to winning in the NFL. This promises to be a challenging task for the Atlanta offense in the season to come, but one that has the excitement growing. When the Dallas Cowboys square off against the Falcons in 1987, it will be a rematch of one of 1986's most exciting games. Three Falcon takeaways resulted in 17 points.
Long count. White's going to throw. Comes near side. It's picked off. Bobby Butler. 30, 25, 20. It's an Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons are in front. And Bobby Butler read it like a cheap novel. Touchdown, Atlanta.
However, when the Falcons fell behind 35-34, Atlanta was in desperate need of a miracle from deep in their own territory. And with only 1 minute and 39 seconds remaining,
Archer drops to throw. David sets up, waits, now rolls to his left. Throws long. Floyd Dixon. He's got it. Dixon to the 23 seconds to go. Falcons down by a point. Snaps clean. Kick on its way. The kick is good. Luckhurst with the field goal. 20 seconds to play. And the Falcons have taken the lead, 37-35.
It would be up to the Falcon defense to finalize this wild one.
10 seconds to play. Now less. White rolling. In trouble. Scrambles. At the 25. Loads up. Throws long. Sherrard. And it's Tony Hill. Tony Hill at the 20. The 10. Tony Hill out at the 10-yard line. I don't believe it. Time has run out, I believe. The Falcons have won it. It's all over. The Falcons have beaten the Cowboys in Texas.
1987 will be the next step for a team that has already taken some giant strides together.
I don't think it's much of a transition. I think a lot of people are going to be a little surprised when they're thinking we're going to have to go through a whole rebuilding process. It's not. The defense is already set. The offense is going to be primarily what we had last year, except for a few variations. And we're going to have a good team.
It'll be the team that we've been in the past as far as aggressive, hard-nosed football. I think that we can look forward to more success, a better one-loss record, which it all really comes down to.
It's down, the football came loose. It's picked up, and it's James Britt on the run. 50, 45, 40, Britt might score. Britt's going all the way, left sideline. Touchdown Atlanta.
I think with a couple big plays here and there, we can be a winning football team, an exciting football team to watch.
Well, here's the play of the game. 1:55 to go. 4th down and 2, and Archer to throw. David sets up, waits, rolls to his left, scrambles back to his right. He's in trouble. Archer looking for somewhere to go. Now he throws. He's got his man. Another Houdini act in the waning moments.
Nobody quit or gave up. On any given Sunday, you could go back and look, and at any minute of that game, that people were trying 110% from the Atlanta Falcons, and I took a lot of pride in being part of a team that, when all the chips were down, we were still fighting like we were fighting to go to the Super Bowl.
Archer looking over that 49er front wall. Here they come. Archer back to throw. He's under pressure. He goes over the middle. Sylvester Stamps at the 30. Stamps breaks away. 25-20. Sylvester Stamps down the sideline. He's going to score. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Falcon Fever. Catch it in 1987.
I would suggest and tell the fans they better go ahead and get their season tickets. And if they want to have some fun, they want to get on the bandwagon and get on our side and start cheering, then they better start preparing early.
This film was brought to you by New York Life and its 9,500 agents and representatives who offer you quality financial products and services to help you get the most out of life.